to the Muslims in the audience, if I claimed to be a former Muslim, I'm not making that claim, but put yourself in my position for just a moment. What if I claimed not only just to be a former Muslim, but a former imam? And I claimed that I really knew the Muslim faith, so much so that that Christians start using me as an expert, and they start putting me on their television programs and asking me to put out testimony DVDs and so on and so forth about being a former Muslim and how I came to see the light and so on and so forth. And let's say you were given a testimonial DVD and you start listening to what I have to say. And you sit there as I describe the Shahada as a Muslim dance. I think that Salat comes with a choice of dressings. I think Zakat is afraid of Zadag. And I start meandering about talking about how Muhammad was born in France in the 4th century, and that the Quran was written in German. Now you would have to sit back and go, is this a comedy DVD? Is this guy serious? And the inaccuracies would immediately cause you to go, this guy was no Muslim. If he was a Muslim, he was the least trained, least educated Muslim that ever came down the pike. He was no Muslim. And you would be exactly right. You would have every reason to reject my conversion as having any relevance at all. And in fact, you'd probably want to find some way of warning Christians, don't listen to this guy. He's deceiving you. He's leading you astray. Well, that's the situation I find myself in so often as I listen to quote-unquote former Christians on YouTube and out on the internet and all the Muslim sites that have popped up here in the United States, especially since 9/11. And as I listen to them talking about their former faith, I am left stuttering at how little they knew. Or what's worse, what they're saying is so wrong, so completely filled with fables, that I cannot help but go, my goodness, this person was no Christian. Or if they were one of the most ignorant Christians that ever came down the pike. And I'm sorry, but converts from a religion who are ignorant of their religion really don't have much to be saying. And when they weren't accurate in their knowledge of their original faith, why should I think that they're overly accurate in their knowledge of their newfound faith either? If they didn't take care to learn the one, why should I really think that they've learned the other very well either? A few weeks ago, a friend of mine sent me a URL to The Dean Show. The Dean Show is an Islamic production. The Dean Show is not some people sitting in, in their garage. There's some funding behind this. It's professionally done. And I was specifically directed to an episode where Sheikh Yusuf Estes was asked to address the topic of the Trinity. And I downloaded the video. I didn't have a chance to look at it at that particular point in time. And I extracted the audio from it and took it on a ride I did recently. And as I was listening, I don't know how to describe my reaction other than utter shock. Now, it seems Yusuf Estes seems to be a nice elderly gentleman. Seemed to be like somebody you wouldn't mind having a nice steak with and talking about football with or something. But here he is being presented as a former Christian minister, as an expert in things Christian. And I honestly, to this point, had never heard anyone make so many fundamental, simple errors in what they were saying. It was unbelievable. Myths and fables and it was literally on the level of a former Muslim not being able to explain the Shahada, not knowing how many surahs are in the Quran, not knowing anything about Muhammad's life, or when you start talking about Muhammad's life, you put him in the wrong place at the wrong time, can't get the dates right. There was almost nothing in his entire presentation that was even semi-factual. It was unbelievable.